a war. You had it right. It's a battlefield out there.
It is.
Yes.
You wanna know what kills more police than bullets and liquor? Boredom. You keep it boring, Strand.
That fine man you had to worry about just in New York, no, he worldwide now. He got girls in Italy, Mexico, California. So the guy that most women want, he has so many options. And every woman wants the same man, child.
Really?
I don't care if she work at the Piggly Wiggly or she's the corporate lawyer on Wall Street. She want her a rich man, and that's just what it is.
I'm sure by now you've seen this clip of Kendra G on the Tamron Hall Show, and she's up to her usual antics of essentially trying to find high-value men for her audience. Of course, it's not just Kendra G that's looking for high-value, interesting, exciting men to match up with her clientele. As a matter of fact, the same thing is happening on the other side of the world, where I am.
Why do girls not like honest men? After I started working as a matchmaker, I realized that many girls don't value the promises, responsibility, commitment, and respect that honest men offer. They think that sweet words are more associated with kindness and care. Usually, girls who are deceived by bad boys have something in common. They don't appreciate honest men.
Something you learn when you speak multiple languages or you're learning a second language is that often words do not translate on top of each other. In this case, the words honest and boring may seem like very different words, but in a country that works as hard as China, a guy who gets up, works hard, and comes home and wants to get a wife would be deemed as an honest guy. And of course, in America where anything goes, that guy's just boring. But the same rules apply. She's having trouble matching her clients with women that want exciting guys. And you're going to hear a lot of familiar language.
For them, men who play games who are more complicated end up being more attractive. They even go so far as to cut ties with their parents to be with these men. When these dishonest men no longer love them, even if an honest man pursues them, they still don't show interest, and they continue to be deceived by other dishonest men. In the end, they get hurt and post something on social media saying, "In the end, all men are the same, there isn't a good one." So, in my work as a matchmaker, I try to match these honest men with girls who truly understand and appreciate the values and nature of these men.
But you're single.
That's right, girl, and loving it. Now, you know, I was in a relationship last year, but this is my single season, and I love it. And single does not mean lonely. Single means nobody can't claim me.
Right.
And I got a roster. If you want to join the team.
Why don't I like honest men? Today, I want to talk about this clearly because, honestly, I think many women feel the same way but don't always have the courage to express it. And I'll be honest with you, there are 3 big reasons why I'm not attracted to honest men. First, we women are very emotional. If you spend enough time with a woman, you'll notice that our emotions dictate our behavior. If I'm in an emotional state, I'll act according to what I'm feeling. That means when I get involved with a man, I want to feel something out of the ordinary. I don't want a lukewarm relationship, with no surprises. I want to be stirred. I want something that makes me feel alive.
Adventure. Excitement.
And an honest man, often, has behavior that is way too predictable. He's like a calm lake.
When you're calm, at peace, passive.
With no waves, no signs of emotion. There's no mystery, no excitement.
A Jedi craves not these things.
And for me, that's one of the most boring things in a relationship. I just can't fall for a man who doesn't know how to stir my emotions.
Future proofing.
Yes.
Kendra.
Oh, you gotta have a job. You have to have an ambition that's gonna go somewhere for sure.
Something that you can notice in not just the young lady from China, but in Kendra G's speech, in what not only she's looking for, but many of her clients on her dating app are looking for, is not just lifestyle, but excitement. They want a guy to bring a level of exciting times into their lives that's going to be memorable. My reaction to this, of course, would be, how important is it to make my life exciting in order to appeal to someone else when I have my own set of dreams for the future? If my dreams are centered around getting to a certain destination, how much of that energy should be diverted to being exciting?
Oh, you gotta have a job. You have to have an ambition that's gonna go somewhere for sure. I wanna see W-2 forms. I wanna see success records. I wanna meet your mama. I wanna know where you live. Is it in your name? Is it? I need to see the lease, because sometimes
Kendra, I'm not good enough to date. because we're talking about it from the female gaze to the male. I'm just talking in general. If I had gone on a date with someone and they started asking me about my W-2s and my bank account, they would have been seeing the gas come out of the pipes of my car.
Yes.
Because that's too, I'm intimidated now.
So they had phones tapped.
Don't matter to me none if they did. Me and the people I keep close, we don't talk on the phone now.
Second, I'm attracted to men who have a certain authority, power, and confidence. And no, it's not about money or social status. It's about attitude. I like men who know what they want, who are confident, and who, by my side, don't feel insecure or weak. I like to feel that he can dominate me in a gentle but firm way.
Interestingly enough, here you can hear this young lady having a conversation that we're very familiar with. She wants a guy who has a certain level of traditional masculinity, but she also wants a guy who is sensitive. And this maze puzzle gets more difficult as the social rules evolve. And so, just like we often hear in the West, she's going to explain exactly why she doesn't want a quote-unquote honest guy who is waiting for her to make the first move in a society that punishes the wrong guys for making the first move. And it's going to sound familiar.
An honest man often exudes weak energy. He's so shy, so reserved, that I can't see the strength I need to feel safe with him. I know this may sound harsh, but to be honest, overly gentle men aren't the type that attract me. I need someone with more drive, more attitude, more power. Deep down, honesty is a quality, but it's not enough to catch my attention unless it comes with other traits that show he knows what he's doing with his life.
Beautiful women won't fall for good men because good men won't lead them, won't teach them, won't make their lives better, and that's actually a form of suffering for them. The key issue here is that these good men aren't exciting enough. They are not the ones who push them to the edge, make them experience intense emotions.
I don't think men want a broke lady, but they also don't want a lady that's gonna be too expensive. You know, wigs is $2,000, lashes is $300.
Okay,
you know, shoes is $1,000.
are you easing into high maintenance?
Yes.
Now, the bad men, oh, they're a whole different story. They don't care about anything. They only care about hitting the gas pedal, making the woman's life a mess, borrowing money, taking advantage and deceiving. It's all part of the game, and these bad men know how to play it. That's why many women start to think this chaos is love.
Well, I think that, yeah, that's real high.
And you're owning, so 2025 people are owning the high maintenance?
Well, women feel like this is what I do for myself, so a man has to be able to do the same or more.
Why can't you keep doing it for yourself?
I agree with you, Tamron, but they're like, why if you here? If a man is here, why am I
But you're
doing
not here
me?
for my wigs.
But they're feeling like this. Okay, I'm showing up for you. I'm giving you my energy. I am in your presence. You should pay for this.
They give away their youth to one bad man after another, thinking they're in love, and end up completely emotionally wrecked. They are spiritually broken, mentally and emotionally lost.
In my opinion, the tragedy of Kendra G is that she grew up with her father, and there's no way that her father wanted to see her at almost 50 now, talking about buying $2,000 wigs and having a roster. He probably wanted her to be married and have 2-3 kids that are going to high-level private schools. But she was drawn to the audience of young ladies that are going through the same thing, dating a lot of different guys, carrying some of the emotional trauma with them, and trying to heal them as she's trying to portray an era that she doesn't need healing herself. And who, except the young Chinese lady around the world, or on the other side of it, to tell the true damage that comes with this kind of dating.
It's all part of the game, and these bad men know how to play it. That's why many women start to think this chaos is love. They give away their youth to one bad man after another, thinking they're in love, and end up completely emotionally wrecked. They are spiritually broken, mentally and emotionally lost. They make the most foolish decisions, thinking that the more they suffer, the more they'll get in return. But the truth is, they're simply being used. Some women even get pregnant by these bad men. The honest man would never be so reckless, but the bad man doesn't care about consequences. If she gets pregnant, so be it. He'll disappear, or worse, he'll convince her to get rid of the pregnancy. It's all part of the manipulation, and they think it's okay because to them it's just another move in the game. This is where the serious harm happens. The woman thinks this is love, and she believes that because the bad man does whatever he wants without caring, it's freedom. But a normal man, a man who truly cares, would never put her through this.
As I said, this young lady is spot on. She is talking about the damage that comes from young ladies looking for the exciting guy and having the emotional trauma that comes from wanting to be with a guy who's not serious. And you might go through a situation where you have a pregnancy that he doesn't want, and he essentially shows you that he's not going to be there, and you have to take that whole idea of that family that may have been in her head and smash it and deal with the trauma that comes from not having that idea. And then there's the good guy that comes along after all of that damage, and she sees that emotional up and down as what love is. And guess who pays for it? The boring guy. But like I said, there's an answer for the boring guy.
No, situationship is a situation like a relationship, and then you realize on Christmas he's not your man because he's not gonna be with you on Christmas. You don't get no holidays in a situationship. If your mama needs something, he don't show up. He show up when he got time or when she got time. And the holidays is always the bad time.
You wanna know what kills more?
Bop. Cover Bop. She's a Bop.
Bop.
And if you
It's them bullets and liquor. Boredom. They just can't handle it. You keep it born straight. You keep it dead born.
We're living in a new age now where the biological imperative to procreate is there, but we have to adjust it to the modern day environment. If you have a child today, you're not going to have farm workers. You're going to have someone that you have to take care of, and you're going to have to cooperate with her mother. And if her mother is a bop, that 20-year period is going to be a lot of work. Now, the best way to repel a bop is simple. Be boring. Be about your own business. Don't be about the business of trying to impress young ladies. I'm not saying it's an end-all, be-all in terms of dealing with young ladies in the modern-day environment, but you can bypass a lot of bops by simply being boring and unassuming. You heard from both Kendra G and the young lady in China that they're looking for excitement. They're looking for someone to spend money on them, to give them an experience. And if they're worth the experience, by all means, do what you do to get their attention. However, the calculus for the modern environment has evolved to where if you're a boring guy, you can bypass many of the bop issues like drama or having to spend money on a young lady or dealing with pregnancy scares or even the biological diseases that might come along with promiscuity. That said, we're in an age where it's no longer a bad thing to be boring because truth is, what is the prize? Is the prize a young lady who has gotten used to ups and downs and excitement in terms of heartbreak being her definition of love? Because if you're a guy on the path, you definitely don't want that. Maybe the ultimate prize is being the boring guy with his head down who is just trudging his way on to his goal, and sooner or later he finds a young lady who just wants stability. She wants boring. Because in today's era, there is nothing that is going to repel a bop more than being a boring guy. Maybe that's the play for now. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. I'll catch you next video. Take care, guys.